Hello everyone and welcome to Exambi. So in this video we are going to talk about memory allocation in operating system, which is very important topic for IBPS SO IT examination. So let's discuss about the topic of the day, and the topic is memory allocation in operating system. So memory allocation in operating system is basically categorized in two branches. So the first branch and the second branch. The first branch deals with the contiguous memory allocation. Okay, it means the memory will be allocated in a contiguous manner, and the second one is related to the non-contiguous manner. So here the memory allocation will be done in a non-contiguous manner. Under the contiguous bifurcation, we have fixed partition scheme and we have variable partition scheme. Similarly, in non-contiguous manner, we have paging, we have multi-level paging, we have inverted paging, and we have segmentation and the virtual memory concept. So I used to write the memory as m/y. So I hope you understand this particular notation. So here this is the broader view of the memory allocation. That is, under the memory allocation we have two branches. One is for the contiguous, one is for the non-contiguous, and under the contiguous and non-contiguous we have these many categories. So now we have to understand one by one what these are basically in detail. So in this video, we are going to understand only the fixed partition and the variable partition. And in the coming next video, we will be dealing with the non-contiguous concepts, which will deal with all of these topics. So let us first understand the fixed partition scheme. Fixed partition scheme. So as the name here suggests, the word is the fixed one. So what happened here? Here the number of the processes are controlled by the number of partitions, and the maximum size of each process is satisfied by the size of the partition. So what happens here? Our memory is being classified and is being basically divided into slots. Okay, and those slots will be of fixed size. Okay, let us take an example of this particular thing. Suppose this particular memory slot is of 50 kb, the next one is of 100 kb, this is of 200 kb, let's say this is of 56 kb, this is of 90 kb, for an example. So these are the memory, and the memory partition is being done like this only. So here what happens, the number of partitions are fixed and not the size of the partition is fixed. So the first point you have to understand here is like the number of partitions are fixed here. The number of partitions are fixed. It means fixed partition scheme. But the size of the partition is not fixed. But the size of partition is not fixed. It means we can have variable chunks of the partition. For an example, here we have 50 kb, here we have 200 kb. So this kind of things is observed in fixed partition. So this was the point number one that you have to understand for fixed partition scheme. And as I said earlier, here the number of processes are controlled by the number of partitions, and the maximum size of each process is satisfied by the size of the partition. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots here, 5 processes can be controlled here, and every particular process will get the memory as per the requirement only. Okay, so in a fixed partition scheme, the number of partitions are fixed in memory. The scheme here, the partitions are fixed but not the size of the partition is fixed. Then what next we have, the maximum number of the processes are restricted by the maximum size of the partition. Okay, so here I will write it in the next line that the maximum size of the process is restricted by maximum size of partition. So we will be feeding the processes as per the requirement, and that requirement has to match with the maximum size of the partition also. We cannot feed anything which is more than the size of the partition. Okay, then it uses two registers basically. We are using registers here. So here two registers are used. One register is for the base and limit. Base and the limit register. So these are the two registers which we are using in the fixed partition scheme. Base register and the limit register. So in base register, it contains the starting address, the start address, and here this limit will be containing the size of the block, not the last or the ending address. It will contain the size of the block. Okay, here one of the consequence of this is like the wastage of memory inside the partition is there. Suppose there is a process of, let's say, 30 kb. So we know that to feed a process of 30 kb we will be requiring 50 kb, because every other partition is more than of that size. So we can allow 30 kb of the process to use it. But as we all know, there will be 20 kb which will be remain unused. So this particular chunk of memory which is inside a particular partition will remain unused, and this is called as internal fragmentation. This is called as internal fragmentation. I will write the whole definition here, that the wastage of memory inside the partition. This is called as the internal partition, and internal partition is giving you the internal fragmentation. So internal fragmentation occur in the fixed partition scheme. So these are the important points that you have to remember for fixed partition scheme. Now we have the next thing that is called as the variable partition scheme. The next thing that we have to take into account is the variable partition scheme. So what this particular scheme is for us, it is like to avoid the problem of the fixed partition scheme, the variable partition scheme will be used. So there were some problems with the fixed partition, that was internal fragmentation. So here we will be using variable partition scheme to just address that particular problem. So in the variable partition scheme, initially the memory will be full free. For an example, our memory was earlier divided into partitions, but here our memory will be full free memory. Okay, and what will happen now? Whenever a request for the process comes in, accordingly the partition will be made. Suppose the whole memory is of, let's say, 1000 kb and a process of 50 kb arrive. So we will give this particular process 50 kb, and rest other part of the memory will always be a free contiguous block. Now when the process is in execution, it finishes off, it leaves out and free the partition, and this is called as whole. For an example, suppose this is the first process which requested to get a memory slot, and we gave it accordingly. As the process continues, suppose the last particular block is of 100 kb and a process of 96 kb arrived. So we will give the process for 96 kb and 4 kb will be remaining here, and rest all are filled accordingly. Okay, as per the processes come. So now suppose we are filled and only this particular 4 kb slot is vacant. So if this particular 50 kb will complete the execution, it means the execution completes for process P1. Then what will it do? It will just exit from the memory. It will exit from the memory and a hole will be created. Hole will be created because now this memory will be free. So the position of the memory will be looking something like this, that we have 50 kb block vacant and this much is filled, and at the end we have 4 kb which is 4 kb which is vacant. Okay, so total overall we have 54 kb of memory which is free. Okay, so this particular scenario occurs in variable partition scheme. So this particular is also not that good. This problem also happened with the variable thing, and this particular problem is called as external fragmentation. This is called as external fragmentation. So there are 2 points to remember. Internal fragmentation occur in fixed partition scheme and external fragmentation occur in your variable partition scheme. So this was about the internal and the external fragmentation along with the fixed and variable partition scheme. In the next video, we are going to get into more details where the partition allocation scheme and the fit algorithms will be discussed, and also we will be discussing about the non-contiguous memory allocation.